All right, the time is now 5:07. I can't wait for that Macon Bacon game tonight for the season to finally be back.
Oh my goodness, we have the Macon Bacon game going on this evening. We have the, the Peach Festival on Saturday. And Alex, I know we have that area down there in the Gulf that we're paying attention to.
Right.
Are we expecting any impacts to us or no?
Yeah, so the best part of hurricane season is when we have a storm and it impacts literally nobody. That's going to be the expectation with this as we work our way through the weekend. It's also going to be very short-lived as well. It's barely a tropical thing right now, and it's not going to be one for too long. There's a live look over downtown. We'll talk more about that here in just a moment. Temperatures down in the low 60s this morning. 62 in Macon, 63 in Warner Robins, 63 also in Perry, 62 waking up in Pulaski County, 64 over in Wilkinson County, and how about 66 in Gray at this hour? Look around the area, wide range here, 70 in Sparta, 59 in East Bend, 63 in Cordele, and 64 in Butler. No rain to speak of across central Georgia this morning. Did see a handful of isolated showers yesterday, but for the most part, most everybody stayed dry through the course of the day today. Much of the same. Any showers we do see, they will be short-lived. They're going to pop up, move slightly down to the south and west, and then fade away. And that's what we're going to expect through the afternoon. So I do like the chances of staying dry this afternoon, but there is that 20% chance of rain. So that is going to be present not only today, but tomorrow and on into Sunday as well. There's Saturday's forecast. Temperatures into the upper 80s and low 90s. Better chance of rain will stay south and east. And then for Sunday, I think the better chance of rains actually might come during the morning hours here. There you go at 7 a.m. Looking at some showers in and around Interstate 75. Those sliding down to the south and west as well. Now today the dew point still going to be borderline very muggy. We will get some relief tomorrow. We will be looking at borderline 60s, 50s, but then we shoot right back up for Sunday before we gradually drop the dew points into next week. So all of that to say, we are not looking at day after day after day of dew points in the 70s yet, and I will take that headed into the first week of June because this is the time of year where that could happen. Now, yesterday evening at 5 p.m., the National Hurricane Center did officially classify Tropical Depression 2. It is located just south of Panama City by about 150 to 200 miles, and it is moving to the south at about 5 miles an hour. So here's the forecast cone on it. You can see it is literally just going to keep on going south through the Gulf of Mexico, and by the time it gets to Cuba, only a 30-mile-an-hour tropical depression. The expectation with this last forecast cone update is that the storm doesn't even get a name. So we are not worried about it at all. In fact, the summertime storms we see here in central Georgia have winds stronger than 30 miles an hour. You can see this on Future View as we play this forward. Of course, the cone overlaid on top. Barely any rain on land either. So the only thing that I would be keeping an eye on is that rip current risk in that northeastern Gulf of Mexico and then down the Gulf of Mexico coast. Outside of that, I really think we're going to be okay from whatever 2 does. Today headed for a high of 86, 91 tomorrow, 89 on Sunday. So you might remember we've been in a cool stretch of days here in central Georgia. We're going to we have slowly worked our way out of that. Temperatures back closer to where they should be for this time of year. And as we get our way into the morning and afternoon, hanging on to the 60s for a couple hours, we'll get into the 70s right around 9 a.m. and then 80s later on until we get to that high of 86. Still humid today. Saw borderline in the very muggy range. Isolated passing showers. Winds out of the north-northeast at about 5 to 10. That is why the showers will be moving down to the south and west. Sunrise another minute earlier at 6:27 this morning. Peach Festival back this weekend as well. Begins today down in Fort Valley. A 20% chance of rain. Something similar for tomorrow with a high temperature of 91. Also the Macon Bacon back at Luther Williams Field. Look for temperatures to be in the 80s to start. First pitch at 7 p.m. and drop down into the 70s from there on out. So that is a summertime 7-day forecast, right? 20% chance of rain each day, high near 90. That hurricane season guide, you can find it on 13WMAZ.com.